Did you think convicts naturally become silent once they are tried? Well, they resort to traumas in such cases, and here we are going to take a look at it. Number 5. Deborah Redden.
Wednesday will be handled at a future date by a different court. For purposes of the record, I want to make it clear that I am not changing or modifying the sentence I was in the process of imposing last week before I was interrupted by defendant's actions. I am making my calendar.
The courtroom was tense as Deborah Redden, a 30-year-old facing attempted violence charges, appeared before Judge Mary Kay Huss. Despite the seriousness of the circumstance, Redden maintained composure while he argued his case. His voice, though calm, conveyed a sense of desperation as he spoke of his battles with mental health and drinking, appealing for another opportunity. However, Judge Huss remained unimpressed. She reminded Redden of his extensive criminal record, which comprised 3 crimes and 9 criminal offenses, emphasizing the importance of his previous convictions. As the exchange progressed, the tension in the courtroom grew, with each word weighing heavily on Redden's destiny. It pushes us to evaluate the difficult balance between accountability and recovery, stressing the importance of assistance in preventing recurrence. As for Redden, the question of whether they deserve another shot is central to this debate. It's more than just deserving. It's also about seeing the possibility of cleansing and growth. Finally, it's about showing empathy and lending a helpful hand, while honoring each individual's natural worth. Do you believe Redden deserves another chance? Considering the gravity of the circumstance, Deborah Redden's case is an unsettling reminder of the significance of addressing mental health concerns in the criminal justice system. Number 4. Percy Phillips.
Of the case when the defendant was unhappy with the verdict and unhappy with the sentence, he threatened the police officer who testified against him.
In the next court, Percy Phillips, a man noted for his patience, was taken aback when a lawsuit against him was surprisingly dismissed. However, this was only the start of his legal problems. Phillips became engaged in a 20-year-old murder case involving Edwin Chandler, who had been wrongfully charged. Chandler was later cleared when fresh evidence surfaced, but Phillips was not so fortunate. Phillips was charged in 2009 with the same murder after fingerprint evidence and eyewitness testimony were discovered. The trial presented numerous problems, including the difficulty of presenting evidence from such an old case and contradictions in witness testimonies. Given Chandler's appearance of supporting Phillips, the defense failed to argue with the eyewitnesses' claims. In this fascinating legal drama, the case's history met with the complications of presenting evidence from the past, resulting in an outcome that sent shockwaves through the courtroom. Interestingly, Phillips's difficult legal journey developed as a fascinating drama, highlighting the precise complexities and significant obstacles present in the judicial process, particularly when navigating the dark seas of cases struck by lengthy delays between crime and trial. Number 3. Sherry Lynn.
Who is this Cynthia Cuba? Tell me!
I think the lady allegedly tried to hit with the pliers. The other case, F51-426, the bond on count is $5,000.
Next is a dramatic courtroom scene. Sherry Lynn was charged with allegedly striking Cynthia Cuba with pliers. Lynn, who was represented by a public defender, became noticeably irritated when her mental health history was brought up. Judge Glazer was initially amused, but later warned Lynn to control her actions. What could have caused Lynn's outburst in court? Following the event, Lynn was ordered to stay away from Cuba and undergo a psychological assessment. In fact, the courtroom outburst was a dramatic moment, filled with genuine emotion and emphasizing the difficulties encountered in legal proceedings involving those accused of having mental illnesses. It dragged members into the heart of the debate about justice and humanity, leaving a lasting impression far beyond the courtroom. Number 2. Dexter Johnson. In a Texas courtroom, Dexter Johnson was charged with capital murder for an awful crime committed in 2006. Johnson and his associates kidnapped Maria Aparici and her lover, Huey, and then viciously attacked and killed them. Johnson was arrested based on DNA evidence, and he was later found guilty and sentenced to death. The courtroom became chaotic as Johnson experienced shock. His family broke down, and one member sought medical assistance. Despite the jury's judgment, Johnson's execution was postponed due to mental health issues, placing him on death row. This story demonstrates the deep emotional impact of capital punishment cases on both the accused and their families. Number 1. Frank Dillon Jr.
That's not more. That's 180.
In a heartbreak and violent legal struggle, Frank Dillon Jr. was charged with murder for the wild murder of his ex-girlfriend, Diamond Alvarez. Dillon, then 19, was accused of shooting Alvarez 22 times in the chest. Emotions ran high throughout the hearing, sparking a heated argument between the families. Alvarez's uncle even punched Dillon in the face, causing violence in the courtroom and forcing the judge to exit the scene. Can you imagine this? Dillon's mother came to his defense, but he eventually pleaded guilty and received a 45-year sentence, with the chance of release after serving half of it. The prosecutor highlighted that the penalty was intended as a warning to people with weak impulse control.
Your attorney withdrew, so you'll have to hire an attorney? You're a lawyer?
Nope.
You want to talk to me about a bond with me? What do you want to tell me?
About what?
Bond?
Despite all of this, Alvarez's mother subsequently apologized for the incident, expressing her deep sadness and grief at her daughter's murder. This case illustrates the unpredictable and violent nature of court processes. In summary, the courtroom emerges as a theater for tremendous emotions and severe consequences, as demonstrated by the cases of Dexter Johnson and Frank Dillon Jr. These examples highlight the impact of crime on both individuals and communities. While justice is still essential, it is critical to recognize the human side, which includes the grief of victims' families and the complicated workings of the legal system. These dramatic examples highlight the importance of empathy, compassion, and a dedication to equal and fair justice for all parties concerned. Have you ever witnessed or been in a similar situation? Leave your opinion on these courtroom dramas in the comments section below. Don't forget to subscribe for more interesting stories and courtroom dramas. To spread the excitement, please like and share this video.